everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest is the promoter of the upcoming Legion Sports Fest. That's going to be taking place November 9th and 10th at the Long Beach Convention Center. I'll be headed there to cover it for Muscular Development on all our platforms. Please welcome Chris Mins. How are you, Chris?
I'm well. Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Chris, I've known you kind of a little bit. I see you at all the shows. I've talked to you a little bit, but I don't know much about you. So give me a little bit about your background so I understand. Who is this Chris Mins character?
Well, I guess my as far as events goes, I started producing events. So my first event was the Tahoe Show in 2011, the first bodybuilding event. But I got into it because I was a bodybuilder like you, and I thought we could be doing a lot better as promoters. I personally had promoted hundreds of different events before ever producing a bodybuilding event. I was a director of events at a ski resort, Tone Loc, Darude to Jeep King of the Mountain, huge events, tens of thousands of people with budgets way bigger than we could ever dream of in the bodybuilding world.
These are concerts you're talking about.
Yeah, concerts, sports events, ski events, festivals, all kinds of stuff. And so, you know, with that event background as a competitive bodybuilder, I went in and said, these events could be much better. We could do a lot more to grow the industry, to treat athletes better, to give everybody a better experience. And that's what led me to do the first Tahoe Show in 2011.
Now, what was you produced all these other types of events. How was the bodybuilding fitness industry? How are our events different in certain aspects as far as from your side, from the promoter side?
I mean, they're you know, they're 20 years behind, you know, is what they were when I started. And some events, I mean, honestly still are. You know, from the very first time the competitor touches you, which is the website, we were way behind. I believe I was the first website that allowed online registration in 2011, which is kind of mind-blowing. I'd never seen it before. We were still filling out the forms and sending in a money order, if you remember, and that wasn't that long ago. And then mine became something, it's a one-stop shop where you can register, buy your tanning, buy your makeup, your coach's pass, everything right there with one transaction. So there's that end of it. The marketing and sponsorship end is still really behind. When you have a bigger company, whether it's me, I was with a ski conglomerate, or the NFL. The sponsorship is handled by corporate and then distributed for each event, allocated to each event. And what we deal with now is hundreds and hundreds of promoters all calling different sponsors, driving them nuts, trying to get a couple $100 here and there, which I think is room for us to grow as an industry, is to try to consolidate that in some way. Yeah. But you know, the big part was the customer service side. You know, I think there was promoters out there who they forgot that they were the people who should be providing the customer service, who should be treating people well and providing a great experience. And we've seen that evolve quite a bit because it's free to treat people well, you know, and that's all you have to do is just smile, be a little more prepared, welcome people, rather than, you know, what I saw was somewhat of a hard or you owe me something kind of attitude. So I'm glad to see that we've evolved quite a bit as an industry since I started back then.
So 2011 Tahoe Show, and then you promoted the Ferrigno Legacy for 3 or 4 years with Lou Ferrigno, correct?
4 years, correct. Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. So that event moved. Did that start out in Tahoe as well and moved around?
No, the first one was in Santa Barbara. Then we moved it to Palm Desert. And then the Legion is the evolution of the Ferrigno Legacy.
Yeah. So, you know, in what things did you learn from the Ferrigno shows that you improved on and made, you know, I'm sure every year you were putting that on, you thought I could do this better, and every year it probably got a little better and better. What are some of the things that you've learned over the past few years that you've incorporated, say, into this show?
Well, I think the biggest thing that makes this show so much different is the location. It's in Long Beach rather than Palm Desert. You know, Palm Desert was not my first choice of locations, but it was the available location. When we dropped the NPC show, it gave us a lot more leeway to be where we wanted to be. And I needed to be in the middle of a major market to see this vision of the expo grow in the way that we want it to grow. One thing and as far as learning from the competitor side, I learn a lot when, Boyana is my girlfriend, pro figure. So I'm with her backstage or, to the Olympia and Arnold. And I get a lot of ideas from them as to what works well, but I also see things that didn't work well. So I make sure to make, I do take notes all those weekends and go, all right, this can be better, that can be better. Because I, as a promoter, I'm probably the only promoter who gets a really unique viewpoint, which is a viewpoint from the competitor. And I'm able to see their experience. I see where they're lost or confused or inconvenienced, and I try to address that in our shows. For example, our host hotel is 15 seconds from our expo.
Oh,
There's
okay.
no shuttles, there's no buses, everything is right on campus. Man, that's super nice to have as an athlete.
Hmm. And you didn't do it all in one, not to put anybody else down, but sometimes when it's all under one roof, you're in a ballroom or something, and it's not always the ideal spot. But the fact that you don't have to go anywhere, you can go from your hotel room, take your shower, eat your breakfast, and go right to walk to the actual contest in 5 minutes. That's priceless. So,
Yeah.
but
And I do choose venues where, because I won't do a show in a ballroom. That's kind of, I just won't do it. I won't have vinyl on stage. There's a couple like basic things I won't do, and I won't do a show in a ballroom. So, for example, Tahoe shows all under one roof. But if it's a beautiful 1,700 seat theater, the NPC Motherlode is in a 2,000 room casino with a 3,000 seat $10 million venue. So you can find where there's both. And what we have at the Legion is the hotel is there. Prejudging is in the expo, which is similar to the Olympia. But what I do is I bring in like a Hollywood style makeup trailer, Hollywood style bathroom trailer, so they have facilities backstage right there for them. And then finals is in a really cool showroom.
wow, all right, with like tiered seating.
Yep.
Wow, I
It's
thought it was.
actually it's what's it called? There's a name of the stage, but the stage actually protrudes out into the audience,
Oh wow,
and so
okay.
everybody surrounds the audience. It's really really neat,
Yeah,
And especially fitness. People just love. It feels very intimate. It's an 800 seat venue, and they're all close.
because the flat seating is tough for us vertically challenged types.
Dude,
We
it
get
drives me nuts.
get some 6'5" guy with bushy hair in front of us, and it's all over.
Dude, these
So
days everybody with their cell phone is
that's
doing
me.
that.
That's me. So did you have to? Do you have to make your event more appealing to get more athletes? Because let's face the season is mostly over. There's only a few shows post Olympia, and you have to offer these people, I would think, something special to entice them to come compete when the majority of the season's over. And I see the lineup is growing every day. We're getting some good numbers in the different divisions. You have 212 bodybuilding, classic physique, men's physique, women's fitness, women's figure, and women's physique. Do they know, especially because I always heard people that did the Ferrigno show very, very happy with the experience, the competitors, and clearly you played an enormous role in that, in making that experience that way for them. So is it word of mouth? Do they say this guy puts on a great show, he treats you really well, and that's how you get these people later in the season?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. We communicate a lot. I'm sure you get my emails. We are all over social media. I'm sure you've seen some of that as well. But yeah, I mean, offering the experience that I think they deserve is probably a key component of it. I know from that, both the experience of having a stress-free weekend where everything's really well thought out, to the custom track suits and huge bags of swag, and allowing their coach to go backstage with them for free, allowing their coach to join them at check-ins. Those little things go such a long way. And I'm there with them every step of the way too. I love to talk with them, and I love to answer questions. So I think people feel very comfortable, and that's how it should be. It should feel like a cool social kind of hanging out with your friends kind of feeling, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Now
Oh,
I
and they all
saw.
get one thing we do. We're the only show that does it. If you win our show, you get an automatic invite to the Arnold.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
how'd you swing that?
I gave Bob a call.
Okay. I mean, yeah, one extra body up on his stage. Yeah. But you've
Yeah.
had some good winners. I mean, Sean Clarita won your 212 last year.
Yep.
Danny Union won your classic.
Yep.
Danny's a very underrated guy. I mean, he's
I
coming
agree.
back.
I think we're going to see him come up quite a bit. And speaking of why would people want to compete this late in the season? Think about Danny and Sean. They qualified in September, so they came out their best ever, not having to chase a qualification all year.
Yeah, no, that's why I suspected a lot of people are doing these post Olympia shows. Is once you have that qualification, you can take next year and you don't have to stress out like, crap, I got to do Chicago, I got to do Tampa, I got to do one of these damn shows. And if I don't win that, then what am I going to? Then I got to do that show. It's I can't imagine the stress. This just
Yeah.
if you can just knock it out right now in November 9th and 10th in Long Beach, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I saw you have 250 vendors. That's a big space. I want to say the Arnold only has about 500, right? And that's an enormous expo. So this is pretty sizable. It sounds like.
Yeah, we've over, I think it's 110, 120,000 square feet, not including our venues, not including the actual theater. So that's that's sports and expo space. So it's growing fast. We're definitely after the Olympia, we are the biggest IFBB show on the West Coast. We also have the biggest CrossFit competition on the West Coast.
Oh.
We have 12 total sports, but those two are massive on the West Coast.
Wow. No, I didn't even see because I'm looking through the sports. I see a pole fitness.
Yep.
Oksana is running that.
Exactly.
Powerlifting, strongman, and both women and men's strongman. So that'll be interesting to watch. Arm wrestling, weightlifting, regular wrestling, MMA, armored combat sports. What is that? That sounds like cosplay or something.
It kind of is. We just added that, and we posted a video of it on the Legion Sports Fest IG. These guys dress up like it's Game of Thrones, and they beat the crap out of each other with swords and axes.
Goodness.
I mean, it's pretty incredible to watch. I mean, to look it up on our Instagram, it's like they are letting loose on each other.
How many paramedics are going to have to be on standby for that?
That was my question yesterday when we booked it. Like,
wow.
You bring the EMTs? Yeah.
That's nuts.
Very entertaining.
Now you've also got 2 full days of seminars, which I'm starting to get anxiety. Like, how am I going to get? Can I be at all these things at the same time? I don't know. So Saturday the theme is Be Your Best You, and that's tell me a bit about these people. Joey Glore is one of your panelists.
Yeah, Joey Glore was on MTV's I Used to Be Fat. So basically, to back up, this seminar is about the everyday person becoming their best version of themselves. My goal and my bigger picture goal is to funnel people into our sport. And very rarely will somebody who's 80 pounds overweight decide I'm going to do men's physique this year. No, you need to feel that little bit of success. You need to lose 20, 30 pounds and be like, I like this. I'm happy with how I feel. So this is that first step, this step to get that's just anybody can come and learn what you and I already know. You and I know how to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. It's easy. But the rest of the world doesn't really know how to do that. And we're taking people who have worked on both the non-competitor side and the competitor side and are teaching what we know to the general public to help them be successful in their health and fitness goals. And maybe we'll see some of them on stage in the future. So Joey Glore is a part of that. He used to compete, but like I said, he was on MTV's I Used to Be Fat. I have Dr. Carr, who's he's a hormone replacement doctor, one of our title sponsors as well, coming in talking about hormones. We all know balanced hormones plays a big role in staying fit and healthy. Yep. And then I have Thomas DeLauer, who's become quite a celebrity in his world of fat loss. He's big on the ketogenic diet. So he'll be there as well. And then we have a partnership with Oxygen Magazine, and they're going to be sending in someone as well. We're a female who we haven't confirmed yet. We kind of know who it's going to be, but we're going to bring the female perspective in there as well.
Kim Kardashian? No? I can dream. Let me dream. Sunday is these are the people this is my world. It's the theme is Be Stage Ready, and you've got champions from many different divisions here. Jay Cutler, 4-time Mr. Olympia. Everybody knows who he is. Danny Hester, the first Classic Mr. Olympia. Someone I've known for, almost 30 years now. Mark Anthony, who was the first men's physique Olympia champion. Correct. Linda Murray, 8-time Ms. Olympia champion. Oksana Grishina, she won the Fitness Olympia 6 times,
4 times.
It was a lot. I don't know. It seemed like every damn year she was winning. She was
Four.
awesome. Ashley Kaltwasser needs no bikini. That's all you need to know. She's awesome.
Yep.
And women's head judge Sandy Williamson, who can probably explain how all these various women's divisions differ from each other and how they're all judged, the different criteria and what they're looking for.
Yep.
So, geez, I'm a little. I hope there's no competitive stuff going on Sunday.
There isn't. It's right after IFBB prejudging and before finals.
Yeah,
the goal here is we've gone to other expos and they have the Q&As, and that's good and all. But what I'm looking for is the A to Z of getting on stage. We've done seminars similar to this before with a number of these variations of people, and people come to me afterwards and go, I learned more in the last 3 hours than I knew in the last 2 years.
Wow.
And so this is that A to Z, where we're going to talk about supplements and training and food, and then get into some Q&A and then some hands-on posing as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's a total of 3.5 hours. And you're going to think like this must cost $200. Now what it is, it's $45 gets you your expo ticket, your IFBB prejudging, and this seminar.
This sounds like it's too cheap, Chris. Come on.
I'm looking ahead. I'm really looking to, to grow the industry. I'm looking to grow our base. I want to be able to share our sport with as many people as possible. And I know when they get the right information and feel successful, they're going to want to participate in a bigger way. And I hope that they just remember us and come to one of the Center Podium shows when they were inspired and learned all this information back at the Legion this year.
Yeah, I mean, I have to commend you for changing it, for moving it to Long Beach, because anyone who knows Southern California area at all, Santa Barbara's way the hell up in the middle of nowhere. It's like a 2-hour drive north of LA.
Yep.
Where was it? Palm Desert? Oh my God. Yep. 3 hours out in the middle of nowhere, halfway to Vegas. I don't know how you even got people to go to those things, to be honest with you, because that's a hike. But
we had fantastic athlete participation. I mean, we had 391 NPC athletes, and we had 175 pro athletes at the Les Ferrigno Legacy. But for us to grow into the expo that I foresaw, we needed to be down there. Now, because of scheduling issues, I couldn't bring an NPC show along with it. So we don't have an NPC show, but we do have the pro show. Now with 12 sports, I would love to have an NPC show in the future. I'd love to, but with 12 sports, a massive expo, the biggest, IFBB show in California, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough going on here. I don't think the NPC show is, it would have been nice to have one, but man, that would have just been even more stuff I'd have to have anxiety about. Now I can't see this because I want to go see that. So I like the way you have it set up. So the website, legionsportsfest.com, you have all kinds of info. You have, obviously you can get tickets there. There's information on the venue. It's not far from LAX, right? It's only.
No, if there's no traffic, it's less than 30 minutes. But there's the Long Beach airport's right there as well. And that's what I recommend flying into. It's small and easy, and it's like a 15-minute Uber ride.
I believe I flew into that once. It was like a one-room shack.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, compared to LAX, it was pretty small.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is coming right up. We're now, tomorrow we're recording this, everyone, on October 8th. I don't know if it's probably not going to go up till the 9th or 10th, but we're about legitimately a month away from this. How's it shaping up? Is this like go time for you this last 4 weeks?
It's go time now. I mean, this is a year-round project. Now we have 8 shows, so it's always go time. We have a show in New Mexico this weekend, and then we have Russia on November 30th, and this one's right in between. So this year's been no joke with the growing of this show. We added a show in Chattanooga, we added a show in New Mexico, and of course we added Russia. And adding a show in Russia, you might as well add 10 shows because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, what possessed you? It's like really, I think that's awesome. You're having a show in Russia, but wow, I'd be intimidated. It must have been, we can talk about it when it's all said and done. Tell me how it went, but just the prospect of promoting a show in somewhere so far away, such a different culture, language, money, everything's so different. I think you told me, is Oksana your co-promoter for this?
Yeah, Oksana's my promoter. Yeah, co-promoter on that.
Thank God.
I wouldn't have done it without her. No, I mean, I would have gotten crushed without her.
Yeah.
the language. I'm studying Russian. Hopefully, by the next one, I'll be somewhat fluent. But you have to. You have. I can read Cyrillic.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Wow.
and when you look at these contracts, I mean, I'm posting sometimes even in Russian now. But you have to do that to be able to function at all there.
I'm envious. How long did it take you to learn Russian?
I mean, I don't know it,
Well, I mean,
but
if you can read Cyrillic, you're up there. I'm sorry.
yeah,
You're good.
you learn each letter first, and then you're able to start to sound things out and start to make connections. But yeah.
How does this sound, Chris? Listen, you ready? Здравствуйте, как дела?
Oh, очень хорошо.
Orosho. See, I know Orosho.
Очень хорошо.
Очень Orosho. Okay.
Отлично.
And then what else do I know? Доброе утро. And
Oh,
спокойной ночи. Yeah. And of course,
спокойной ночи.
до свидания. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
You're gonna have to
Спокойной
help.
ночи.
I need more. Well, maybe you're gonna be very busy, I know, but if we have a little minute, I'd like to a couple more
Oh, yeah,
phrases
we'll
to
work
add.
on that. I'm impressed. That's the most I've ever heard out of an American.
My grandmother came from Ukraine, so I really should know a little bit more than that.
All right, on.
Okay. So yeah, this is shaping up. I'm gonna start interviewing competitors. I wanted to wait till we're a little closer to the show, but we're definitely getting some good people. I'm looking forward to some of the people. I saw Bola Ojax. I saw Mike Toscano. There's some names I recognize. They're jumping into the show. And
I think
any of these.
last I checked, we had about 80. That was last week. We had 80 already signed up. I expect we're going to have at least double or more than that. So 15 different countries represented already. Yep.
Yeah, like in the old days, before you started promoting, long before you were promoting shows, I believe the guys always had to sign a contract at the beginning of every calendar year, say these are the shows I'm doing, and they had to commit to it. Whereas now it's like, I think they can roll into a show like.
Oh, they can the day before if they want.
The day before. I mean, you're not going to say, no, you can't compete in my show.
Yeah.
Get out of here. But, that also makes it more exciting for the fans too, because, we all find out that day on their social media, hey, I'm jumping into Legion Sports Fest Saturday. And that's exciting if you're already going.
Yeah.
Because now
it's nice when they tell us ahead of time so we can talk about it. And at the end of the day, it costs a lot of money. Our sanction fees and prize money, I want to say it's it's about $70,000. Wow. So when they come in and they let us know early and we can talk about it and they're talking about it on social, it helps us, in a big way. But when we're successful, then we're able to do more for them in the future. As you know, like we already do these custom track suits and great swag bags, and we bring all the returning champions. We pay for their hotel. But I want to see us, be able to increase our tier level, be able to increase our cash purse, and just do more with them throughout the year. And the more they're able to help us, then we're able to give back, which is ultimately my goal.
Okay. Now, we have 6 divisions this year. Any chance in the future you might add open?
Yeah, there's a really good chance of that. We're as long as things go well, that is my plan for next year. I sometimes I try to grow too fast, so it may be next year, maybe the year after, but I have a feeling it will be next year. The way there's a lot of excitement around this show right now, and I think it will be a huge success. Now, I mean, to put it in perspective, a pro show costs $32,500.
That's just for the sanction fee.
Just the sanction fee for open bodybuilding. That's the sanction fee and the minimum cash purse.
Okay.
Compare that to 212, which is 11,000. So it's a big jump. I'm just being very, very, straightforward with these numbers, so you understand. Like that's why you don't, why you don't see everybody have a IFBB Open Pro show. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's big. It's big money. It's big. That's top of the food chain as far as a lot of the fans are concerned. So yeah. I can understand that. But yeah, we've got a great show this year. Like I said, so just to recap, guys, this is what you have in store for you if you go to the Legion Sports Fest. 2 days at the Long Beach Convention Center with over 250 exhibitors, vendors, 6 IFBB Pro divisions, 212 Classic, Men's Physique, Fitness, Figure, Women's Physique. You have all these other sports, pole fitness, powerlifting, strongman for men and women, arm wrestling, weightlifting, wrestling, MMA, armored combat sports. I'm gonna have to make sure I see that. If I miss that, I'm gonna be so pissed. But that people in armor beating the crap out of each other. And the seminar list, I would check these other guys out: Joey Glure, Dr. Carr, and Thomas DeLauer. But What an all-star lineup you have on Sunday. Jay Cutler, Danny Hester, Mark Anthony, Linda Murray, Oksana. I'm going to do some simple math here. 4, 5. How many times did Anthony win? Twice?
He won once.
Okay, so
I know the answer to your equation if you
6.
want.
Yeah. Oh, 4. I get 4. I get 18. How many you get?
21.
21? Where'd I mess up? Jay with 4, Danny with 1, Mark with 1, Linda with 8, Oksana 4. Did Ashley win?
3.
Ashley won 3 times? Oh, she's gonna kill me if she sees this. Yeah, my bad, Ashley. My bad. She won the Bikini Olympia 3 times. I'm the worst bikini fan ever. Clearly, I'm sorry.
Biggest
Now,
and worst.
I've interviewed her too. Boy,
Man.
don't ever get old, Chris.
Oh,
Okay, so I want to encourage everyone to go to the website for more information. It's legionsportsfest.com. You're also on social media, the Facebook. Now I really sound old. You're on Facebook and Instagram as Legion Sports Fest.
Correct.
And this is only one of how many shows are you putting on this year?
We have 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are an ambitious man, sir. Very ambitious.
I'll sleep in December.
Cool. Yeah, I just interviewed Dan Solomon, and he's just starting to get some sleep now.
Oh, God, I imagine. It took a couple weeks of anxiety before he could sleep.
Yeah, what do they call that? Decompressing?
Yeah.
But, man, so I'm very much looking forward to this event, Chris. I'll be out there. We're going to cover it for MD. We got ace videographer Jordan Bleckman. I know you know Jordan very well.
Very well,
So
yeah.
we're going to do our best job possible to get you guys as much content while we're out there as we can. You know, I'm psyched to be back out in LA. It's been a long time. I did live there for 10 years. Would never live there again. But not unless you get rid of all the traffic, I'll think about it. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Smog too. But no, but it's a great place to have a show. I'm very excited that you moved it to the LA area. That was just a very, very smart decision. I think you're gonna see some amazing attendance this year just based on the geography of it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. If you could get people out to Palm Desert and you got people up in Santa Barbara, can you imagine? This is going to be
exactly. That's our feeling. That's our hope.
Cool. All right. So everybody check those out. It's going to be a really cool show. I'm looking forward to it. And any of you who can make it out there, it's going to be a great time. I've never heard a bad thing. Only good things about Chris's promotions, both from the competitors, anybody that goes to watch them, always gives it a good rating. Always say it was a great time and they're glad they went or glad they competed. So thank you, Chris. Can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Appreciate it, Ron. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Ronline Report with this man, Chris Mintz. We'll see you later.